Ooh.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the virtual reading fair morning session.
Hello.
I'm Meredith McGee, the chair of Community Library of Mississippi, and also I'm a member of the Learning Tree Book Club, and I really have been having fun reading with you guys, and I look forward to hearing you read today. And our interchange has been very, very interesting and informative, and it's been fun seeing how well children read and understand what they're reading. That's been great. Okay, so everybody else tell the audience who you are.
I'm Mary Hardy, Greenville, Mississippi.
All right.
Vanessa Stafford, Mississippi.
All right.
William Tress, Jackson, Mississippi.
Madison?
Yes?
It's my turn? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Vicky.
Oh.
Yes, this is Vicky Jenkins, and I.
Oh, got it. I think I just started.
Okay, Madison and Kennedy?
Ken, where are you?
She's running the office.
She's gonna be, oh, she's right there.
Okay. Okay, so Madison, you going first?
I'm Madison, I'm 9 years old. And I live in Jackson.
Okay, hold up your book and tell us what you're reading.
Ooh, I just left that thing in the back.
Introduce yourself, then.
Okay, I think that Madison went to get her book.
Yeah, she left it in the on our bedroom.
Okay.
Got the book.
No, that's back there. That's your fault.
Okay, hold it up again, and tell us the name of the book.
March.
I can't hear anybody else.
March, book 2.
And who was the author?
John Lewis, Andrew, and Andrew Aiden.
Okay.
Madison, I can't hear you.
I did. I was supposed to read it? Oh.
Oh. Kennedy is.
Ken, you can read first. I forgot where my page is.
Okay.
What is it?
But wait, hold on. How did you forget what you were reading?
Are you reading, Madison?
Yeah, let me find my book. Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay, I'm trying to find my page I was on last time.
Just if you can't find it, just find a random page.
Okay, fine. I'm just gonna start on one page. This one, right? Okay. Ugh. I don't know where I'm at.
Here I am.
Madison, while you looking for yours, we'll let Kennedy start.
Okay.
Kennedy,
Ma'am?
can you start, Kennedy? And hold up your book so we can see it. Madison Kennedy is gonna go first.
Okay, so my book's name is A Walking Tour to Birmingham, 1963, by Christopher Paul Curtis. Okay. It was one of those super duper cold Saturdays. One of those days that when you breathe out your air kind of hung frozen in the air like a hunk of smoke, and you could walk along and look like a big train blowing out fat white puffs of smoke. It was so cold that if you were stupid enough to go out, they all would automatically blink 1,000 times all by themselves, probably so the juice inside of them wouldn't freeze up. It was so cold that if you spit, the slug would be next to you before it hit the ground. It was about a zillion degrees below zero. It was even cold inside our house. Put sweaters and hats, scarves, and 3 pairs of socks on and super cold. The thermostat was turned all the way up and the furnace was banging and sounded like it was about to blow up, but it still felt like Jack Frost had been with us. All of my family sat real close together on the couch under a blanket. Dad said this would generate a little bit of heat since the least it seemed like the cold automatically made us want to get together and huddle up. My little sister Joe had to sit in the middle, and all you could see was her eyes because she had a scarf wrapped around her face. I was next to, and on the outside was my mother. Mama was the only one who wasn't born in Flint, so the coldest was cold to her. All you could see were her eyes too, and they were shooting bad looks at Dad. She would always blame him to bring her all the way from Alabama to Michigan, a state she called giant icebox. Dad was on the other side of Joey, trying not to look at anything but Mama. Next to Dad, sitting with a little space in between them, was my older brother Byron. Byron had just turned 13, so he was officially a teenage juvenile delinquent, and didn't think it was cool to touch anybody or let anyone touch him, even if it meant he froze to death. Byron had tucked the blanket between him and Dad down into the cushion on the couch to make sure that he wouldn't be touched. Dad turned on the TV to try to make us forget how cold we were, but all that did was get him in trouble. There was a special news report on Channel 12 telling how bad the weather was. Dad drove in the guy's place. If you think it's cold now, wait until tonight. The temperature is expected to drop into low territory, possibly reaching the -20s. In fact, you won't be seeing anything above zero for the next 45 days. He was smiling when he said all of this, but no one in the Watson family thought it was funny. We all looked over at Dad. He just shook his head and pulled a blanket over his eyes. Then the guy on TV said, "Here's a little something we can use to brighten our spirits and give us some more hope for the future. The temperature in Atlanta, Georgia is forecast to reach," Dad coughed real loud and jumped off the couch to turn off the TV. But we all heard the weatherman say, "the mid-70s." The guy might as well tie Dad to a tree and said, "Ready, aim, fire." "Atlanta," Mama said, "that's 150 miles from home." "Atlanta," Dad said, "I knew it." Mama said, "I knew I should have listened to Moses Henderson." "Who?" I asked. Dad said, "Oh, Lord, not that sorry story. You've got to let me tell me about what happened with him." Mama said, "There's not a whole lot to tell, just a story about a young girl who made a bad choice. But if you do tell it, make sure you get all the facts right." What? We all huddled close as we could to get because we knew Dad was going to try to make us forget about the call by being cut up. Me and Joey started smiling right away, and Byron tried to look cool and bored. All right, that's it.
Okay. Any questions?
I heard they were taking a ride from Alabama to Michigan. Have you ever taken a long car ride?
It was a long car ride. But of course, the car was frozen, so they had melt the car because the older brother decided to kiss the face on the car, and so he froze his lips. It's a really good book, honestly, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Okay, you ready, Madison?
Madison,
yeah, Kennedy.
turn up. Is your camera off?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there it is. It's probably the mic. All right, ready? Go
Uh-huh.
ahead and start.
Okay. Hello, John, you gotta come quick. The call was from one of our spotters. There's trouble at the crystal. On it. Be right there. Well, that didn't take long. I'm closed. We'll have to leave. We did it. Y'all go home. Hey, use the back. Squeak. We did not die that day, but it was not the last time I thought I saw death. It was clear definition of violence forces unleashed by our quest of dirty humiliation. February 1961, Nashville, Tennessee. But as the violence got worse, our protesters became more aggressive. Can I have one ticket with the 10 commandments, please? I'm sorry, I can't sell you a ticket. We began holding stand-ins at local segregated movie theaters. They borrow from students at the University of Texas in Austin. I'd like one for the 10 commandments. Sorry, can't sell you a ticket. Next. When they refused us tickets, we would get back in line and wait our turn to ask again. We protested every night. It was just the local Ooh, just the local white teenagers we have to worry about. Now, police became a dangerous problem too.
Hey, Janet.
What are you doing, officer? I'm here to buy a ticket to see a movie. You better get out of here before I arrest you. Move away from the ticket booth. Oop, I done. 21. Yeah, I done.
Yeah, that's it, Madison. Well,
Mm-hmm.
tell us something about the that you like about the book, and then what you liked about John Lewis.
Well, I like the and I like how it was wrote.
Okay.
It's a good book.
And any other questions of Madison?
Hey, Madison,
What?
did you learn about the other civil rights leaders in that book other than John Lewis? Like, can you tell me
Yeah.
their names? Other than Martin Luther King, though.
Yeah.
All right.
I did.
All right. So say the names then. Like, it can be anybody. Just says Martin Luther King. That's easy.
Founding father.
No, not that, Madison.
I learned about them.
What?
I've been learning about them.
Okay. Never mind.
Well, thank you, Madison.
Thank you, Madison. Wake up. I think Madison's half asleep.
I'm gonna go drink some
It's early.
Okay. Well, Dr. Janice Neal Vincent just joined us. Y'all welcome her.
Welcome.
Hey.
Okay, so
Hello, I'm trying to. I had to go to another machine.
okay. Okay, so I hopefully you'll be able to read us a poem. And also she does a spoken word choir. I think some of you met her at the Jackson Book Festival.
Right, I bought her book.
Oh, okay.
Pandemic came and I didn't get a chance to use it like I want, but maybe next year.
Yeah. Okay, so who's gonna read next?
I'll read next.
Okay, go ahead, William.
Oh no, go back to your office.
This is about the legislative session.
What you doing?
The session's first plan teacher pay raise, Senate Bill 2001, began as one of the top priorities of this year's legislative session. Now it is another victim of COVID-19. The bill perished in the House Education and Appropriation Committee. Its sponsor, Senator Dennis DeBar, Republican release told the Jackson Free Press bill's death was the unfortunate consequence of the revenue contraction coronavirus caused. Obviously, it's very unfortunate that it didn't come out, but assuming that the economy is coming back, there are no budgetary concerns about the pay raise. I anticipate it will come back next year. The Education Committee Chairman insisted that teacher pay was still a top priority for legislative leadership, including Lieutenant Governor Delbert Holt. Before COVID-19, a swift teacher pay raise seemed all but inevitable, with every single senator in the legislature endorsing it. DeBar said in February and confirmed again last week that the plan was for his committee to begin moving forward with teacher pay raises repeatedly in the term ahead, not just in election years. This year's many catastrophes have claimed a number of bills, some of which lawmakers previously expected to pass quickly.
Okay, William, can you give us a summary of what you just read about the Mississippi legislature?
Yeah, they were going to have a teacher pay raise until COVID-19 messed it up. There was enough funds to pass it, and then COVID-19 undercut the funding for a teacher pay raise.
Well, they should have cut something else instead of that. That's what I think.
Yeah, cut a lot of stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
But teacher pay raises are very important.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
Okay, Henry, are you ready to read? And you
Yes, ma'am.
introduce yourself and tell us what you're gonna read and hold up your book.
My name's Chia, and I'm going to the second grade, first grade, and I'm reading my another 10 pages of nature near and far.
Hold the book up.
The duck's nest. Is that a nest? Beth Ann asked Gran. Yes, said Gran. It is a duck's nest filled with eggs.
Okay.
Gran, is the egg cracked? Asked Ann. Yes, said Gran. That egg has lots of cracks.
Okay.
Look at this little duck, said Gran. Where is Mom? Beth Ann asked. I bet it's missing its mom. Not for long, said Gran. That big dog must be its mom. She will not come back with us here. Gran and Beth Ann left. Mom duck had a bug. Did the little duck get the bug? Yes, yum yum. And that's the end.
Oh, that's the end.
Yes, ma'am. I read 10 pages.
Okay, was that the whole book?
Yes, no, ma'am.
No, it's not the whole book. You want him to continue reading?
Yeah, because his pop is small. He could go ahead and finish.
Continue from where you stop.
Animal mom. This mom has pups. She is resting on the rock with them. Rest pups, rest mom.
Keep reading.
This mom has cubs. The cubs are just like their mom. They can swim in cold water. Swim cubs, swim mom. This mom is hunting with her cubs. What is jumping in the water? Hunt cubs, grab a snack. This mom is with her kids. They swim in the pond. Their pond has lots of twigs, sticks, grass, and twigs. Swim kids, swim mom. This mom is with her pups. Their pond is filled with mud. They can swim fast in wet mud. Swim pups, swim mom. This mom is with her ducks.
Get it?
Little ducks. Ducks swim and swim. It is fun. Have fun, ducks. Swim, swim, swim.
Oh, where that
Scratch,
water is.
chomp.
I can give you some of my stuff.
Chuck and his dad went off on a trip at Fetch Pond. Chuck and his dad played catch. Chuck has a fast pitch. Dad can catch, but Dad did not catch this pitch. You never miss, Dad. Why did you miss? Chuck asked. I hear scratch, scratch, chomp, chomp. Did you ask Dad? Yes, scratch, scratch, chomp, chomp. What is it? Asked Kid. Scratch, 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 chomp, chomp, chomp. Can Chuck and Dad find out what is scratching and chomping? That was 10 pages.
Keep reading.
Mom, that's 10.
Scratch, scratch.
Scratch, scratch, chomp. Chuck and Dad can see a stump of lots of chips, a big brown lump is in the pond. The lump has an animal on it. This animal can scratch, scratch, scratch. It can chop, 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 chop. It can chop, chop, chop. Can you tell what it is? Mom and Dad talk. Rich, can I get a dog? Asked Rich. Said Mom. Said Dad. Then Mom and Dad said yes. Rich sat up in bed. Mom, Dad, and Rich like dogs very much. Today, Mom and Dad will get Rich a dog. Rich can see dogs. Rich can get just one dog.
Okay, if you get to a stopping point, you could stop. I didn't realize that the book was that long. The ones you've been reading was like pretty short, illustrated.
Read, finish this one.
Pretty short.
Y'all finish that one.
Here and are big dogs and small dogs. Here are fat dogs and thin dogs. Dogs. Rich picks a brown dog called Fletch is big and can run fast. Rich has his own dog.
Stop there.
Rich hugs Fetch and Rich will be pals.
Okay. Well, did you learn anything new about animals when you read that book?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you learn?
About a duck and a dog.
What's the difference that you learned about the duck and the dog?
I mostly like the bear in the story.
Oh yeah, why you like the bear?
Because they eat fish and I like fish.
Oh, I like fish too. Okay, very good. Anybody else have any questions on him?
Ms. McGee, I've got an online business meeting at 1 o'clock and I'm gonna get ready for it.
Okay, well thanks for joining.
Okay, y'all have a good day.
Okay, you too.
You too.
All
right, bye-bye. Okay,
I saw your book. Yes.
Go ahead, Annette.
I was telling Henry, I was noticing in one of his stories, he's talking, they had the egg. It made me think about when we're out and we see bird eggs, mama birds taking care of the baby birds.
Oh yeah.
One of your stories made me think about her mama bird and baby bird kid.
Yeah, yeah, I had noticed that too. Thanks for letting us see the pictures too. You did very
Pretty.
good. Anybody else have want to ask him or something? You got any comments, Henry, about the book?
Now,
You have any comments that you want to make about the book before we go to the next
no,
one?
ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Who wants to read next?
I'll read.
Okay.
I'll read.
Okay.
Okay. My book is along with Madison's book. Was it Madison? I think we're talking about the Great Migration. So
Okay.
her book was they were on vacation, but it's the ideal to move from the south to the north. And this is an American story, and the paintings are by Jacob Lawrence.
Okay.
I remember reading that in like second grade.
Oh, that's a children's
So I'll
book.
read some now.
That's an illustrated
Well, I
book.
say, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's great for anybody. I'll just read part of it, read along, and then I just pick it up as doing. All right, the Great Migration. It also says it has with a poem of appreciation by Walter Dean Myers, Museum of Modern Art, New York. Okay, so I'll read his introduction. This is the story of an exodus of African Americans who left their homes and farms in the South around the time of World War I and traveled to northern industrial cities in search of better lives. It was a momentous journey. Their movement resulted in one of the biggest population shifts in the history of the United States, and the migration is still going on for many people today. The Great Migration is a part of my life. I grew up knowing about people on the move from the time I could understand what words meant. There was always talk in my house of other families arriving from the South. My family was part of the first big wave of the migration, which occurred between the years 1916 and 1919. My mother was born in Virginia and my father was born in South Carolina. Somehow they met on their way north, and I was born in Atlantic City, New Jersey in 1917. We settled for a while in Philadelphia. Many other families settled there too, but many traveled even further to Pittsburgh, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and St. Louis. I arrived in New York City's Harlem community in 1930 when I was 13 years old. I was 13 years of age. Harlem was crowded with newcomers, but we all settled in somehow. I went to school, and after school, I went to the arts and crafts program at the Utopia Children's House, which my mother enrolled me in to keep me busy while she was at work. I decided then that I wanted to be an artist. When I first started painting, I was just making designs. The colors and patterns that decorated my mother's apartment influenced my pictures. Later, I started painting street scenes. I painted peddlers, parades, fire escapes, apartment houses, all that was new to me. Eventually, teachers, friends, and even actors on the street corner helped me to understand how my own experiences fit into a much larger story, the history of African Americans in this country. It seemed almost inevitable that I would tell this story in my art. I spent many years at the Slokenberg Library in Harlem reading books about the Great Migration, and I took notes. Soon my research gave me the images I needed to tell the stories of the Great Migration. Many of the images were new for me, along with my street scenes. I would now paint rural landscapes, images of violence, and interiors like the inside of a classroom. I started the migration series in 1940 when I was 22 years old and finished it 1 year later. I can still remember all the panels spread out in my studio on tables made from boards and sawhorses. My wife helped prepare the surfaces. I painted the panels all at once, color by color, so they shared the same palette. I had made some preparatory sketches that provided me with general outlines, but I worked out the details of the paint pictures as I painted them. There were 60 panels in the series, and since I wanted them to tell the story, I gave each one a number and painted it directly onto its frame. To me, migration means movement. While I was painting, I thought about trains and people walking to the stations. I thought about field hands leaving the farms to become factory workers, and about the families that sometimes got left behind. The choices made were hard ones, so I wanted to show what made the people get on those northbound trains. I also wanted to show just what it costs to ride them. Uprooting yourself from one way of life to make your way in another involves conflict and struggle. But out of the struggle comes a kind of power and even beauty. I try to convey this in the rhythm of the pictures and in the repetition of certain images. And the migrants keep coming is a refrain of triumph over adversity. My family and others left the South on the quest for freedom, justice, and dignity. If our story rings true for you today, then it must still strike a chord in our American experience. Jacob Lawrence, 1992. And it made me think my family on my side, they moved from the South to the North. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to show a couple of pictures, and I'm just going to, and then I moved. I'm a Northerner and live in the South. My children were raised in the South. Okay, around the time I was born, many African Americans from the South left home and traveled to cities in the North in search of a better life. My family was part of this great migration.
Okay, what year was that?
This was, well, he said his family left, back and look, he arrived in New York. He arrived, his family, his mom and daddy met, and he was born in 1917 in Atlantic City. And then in 1930, they moved to Harlem when he was 13. Okay. And then one more. There was a shortage of workers in northern factories because many had left their jobs to fight in the First World War. And the factory owners had to find new workers to replace those who were marching off the war. So that's where I'll stop. But that's about the migration. The people moved from sharecropping and such in the South and moved to the North to work in the factories and for a better life and for education for their families. And I'll pick this up later.
Yeah.
But that migration is a big word. What does that migration mean? Word migration.
Teachers.
I'm going to ask from what I read and from what Madison read, what do you think migration means?
Yeah, what does it mean? To move? To move?
Madison, what does migration mean?
To move from one country to another.
Well, that's probably correct, but it's not just the country.
Yeah.
From one
place to another.
Very good.
Madison, that's what that means.
We've heard lots of use of that word within the last year.
A kind of an immigrant is when a person from a different country moves to another country that's not their home country.
That's right. That's correct.
Good job. Good job.
Yay.
Very good.
So he told his story with art. He told his story with art, and the pictures are colorful and beautiful.
Yeah, I see. Okay, well, any other questions or comments about migration?
What is the reason for migration?
The reason that for this was because people wanted a better life. They were poverty stricken. The children couldn't go to school. They couldn't live like they wanted to live. They were just down, and they decided to move for a better life for themselves and their family. And that's what people do. That's what people do. They move for better lives.
Well, that's why everybody from the South went to the North. So,
Mm-hmm.
What? My computer's blacking out.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, like Madison said, people move from one. You move from one country to another. you move from the south to the north, you move from one culture to another.
You're messing up.
If you move from the city to the country to the city, you move from one culture to another.
Right.
My
That's
one.
true. Okay, well, I just have
No.
to read, and it was written in 1926, and I know all the adults have read this poem because it's by Langston Hughes.
What book?
Okay, the name of it is I Too.
I had that book in my room.
Yeah. I too sing America. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh and I eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow, I'll be at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am America. Now, to me, you know, he wrote that in 1926, and I was thinking you all may have a different interpretation that he was saying that even though he was there at the table and they sent him to eat somewhere else, he ate well and he was content with the segregation. But he also said that tomorrow they will realize how beautiful he was, and they would be ashamed that they asked him not to sit at the table with them. And that's kind of my interpretation of it. But I would like to hear your interpretation of it.
Well, my interpretation is he was sent to the kitchen. He was sent to the back to eat. But at some point in his life, he would be able to sit at the table. And if not that table, his table.
Okay. What about Janice?
That's how I see it.
Okay.
Because I'm really liking when I hear people say people don't, if they don't invite you to their table, build your own table.
I like that too. That, you know, there's a saying, God bless the child that's got his own. Mama may have,
Amen.
Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's very important. Okay, so who's next?
I'll read.
Okay.
It's been hard to decide what I want to read, but I'm going to read something short by Nikki Giovanni, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And this poem is The Girls in the Circle, and it reminds me of getting all dressed up with no place to go. All right, so the girls in the circle have painted their toes. They twisted their braids with big yellow bows. They took grandmama's face powder and powdered each nose. And sprayed Evening in Paris all over their clothes. They are amazed at how they look. They smell good too. Mother may not be amused. The girls in the circle now tease and giggle. They look so grown up with that high heel wiggle. Their pearls are flapping, their dresses flow. They are so sorry they have no place to go. Mother refuses to drive them anywhere looking like that. The girls in the circle. You know how we dress up?
Yes.
Growing up, we would dress up.
Yeah.
No place to go. So girls do that.
You were practicing. We're practicing.
Kennedy does it all the time.
Kennedy does that.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah, we would dress up and just walk up down the street.
we would dress up, go walk down the road, and my aunt's house was right there on the road, and we would be so dressed up and strutting that she would know who we were.
I never did that.
That's a good thing to do, Kennedy.
I don't dress up.
You don't dress up, Madison.
I don't like dressing up.
You said not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Wait, in
Not
a few
yet.
years, though. Watch and see.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's
Then you'll be asking Kennedy for tips. And her clothes and her makeup and her jewelry. You'll be asking her for her things. That's sweet.
Yeah, the good.
Look, I wanted to say something. I'm looking at thought about Henry, and we talking about migration. Henry migrated. I migrated. My daughter was born overseas, and my son was born.
Yeah.
Well, I did too. I migrated from South Mississippi to northern part of Mississippi. So
Okay, well, you migrated. You migrated. Yeah.
I migrated from
That's true.
Clinton. I guess to Mississippi.
What'd you say, Madison?
I came from Clinton to Jackson.
Clinton to Jackson.
Okay.
Okay, that's migration. You moved.
It sure
You made
is.
a movement.
In the same county, too. Same county.
My cousins migrated from Jackson to Texas, and from Florida and Texas.
That's right.
Yeah, I just talked to somebody who was moving to Texas yesterday. A lot of people going to Texas these days. From Mississippi.
That's a hot spot. I don't know.
My son,
Yeah.
well, my son and his wife live there, and as soon as they let me get out, I'm just talking to my daughter right before we came here, and as soon as I can break away, I'm gonna dress up and I'm going to Texas.
I heard that. So you gonna follow the children. Okay,
Yeah,
who's up?
yes, I have a couple. I need to go.
Now, who's reading next?
My webcam fell off.
Oh. No, that's a screen thing.
Oh,
Yeah, the screen thing fell off.
That's normal.
are you
You can
reading
see, you know.
Janice?
Well, I didn't really know what to expect. So when I saw your email, I said, oh, I need to see what they are doing. I didn't come prepared to do anything from a book, to read out of a book, because I know lots of poems.
Oh, I know.
But this is, yeah.
Well, will you be able to come back at 2:15? Maybe you can read then, or tomorrow at 11.
What happened to
Oh,
lunch?
okay. Probably tomorrow at 11.
Okay. And then you could read with us. And so I think that, Vicky, did you have something you want to read?
No,
You got-
not this morning. Are we still on for what time?
The next one is at 2:15.
So what now?
Okay. The next one is at 2:15. So
Okay.
so this concludes our morning reading session, you guys, and it's been fun. And if you get a chance, we'll see you at 2:15 for the next 45-minute session.
Wait. Before we go, is it gonna be the same? Is it gonna be staying the same email and password?
I think the password will be the same. I hope it will be the same. If it doesn't, it'll be in your email. But the password gonna be reading. I know that.
Made me hear that. Then
I need you to text me the number.
So Meredith, we still saying today at 2:15? Is that what we saying?
That's the next one at 2:15. Okay then. Well, I see you guys at 2:15. It's been fun. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
I have an appointment this afternoon. I can't make it. 2.
Okay, then we'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
We'll
Bye-bye.
I'll miss you, Madison.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.